we weren't able to broadcast on Thursday due to we had to travel somewhere and it was just impossible to broadcast. And we apologize for that, but we are back. It is Saturday night, and we're back for the week. I think I have some very interesting information for those people. For those people who are able to still think and imagine and move forward. This is for you. If you're one of those people, and it makes me sick in my heart, it makes me sick in my heart to think about all the people. Like I just saw a thing from Mark Atwood. Mark Atwood is a wonderful person. I've met him personally, very nice guy. But he got on his last video, he got 33,000 hits. I'm seeing, and he's talking about what President Trump is really doing and what this, and it's like this. With all due respect to Mark and all the other, and maybe I'm being a bit harsh because it, it to say that it's not for this channel. This channel is not about watching a movie. We're not here to analyze the movie. This is clearly a movie. Trump says 1,000 times a day, central casting, central casting, central casting. We all know Joe Biden was arrested and killed years ago, 2019. Hillary, forget about it. So if you're still, you're still getting excited, you're still wetting your pants over what's really going on with Obama, you're missing the Great Awakening. You are missing the Enlightenment. You are missing the point. Okay, again, I didn't really want to get into this, but it makes me sick to my heart to think of so many productive, wonderful, purposeful people wasting their lives trying to figure out what is happening. It's not for you. It's a scripted movie. It's put on by the white hats. The white hats and the black hats, they do these moves off each other, but it has nothing, read my lips, nothing to do with the kind of reality that you and I should be entertaining at this point in the awakening. The normies, it's exciting because it's new to them, and they thought the world was, like the Truman Show. They thought the world was just okay. It just is what it is. It's hard. It's difficult. I'm drinking Skywalker, by the way. One of my favorite blends of Brian Bess. If you can get this stuff, it's amazing. Skywalker. It's a light brew, but it's absolutely stunning. So this channel is not for people that are ordinary. I don't cater to the ordinary. I've never been one to scaffold my lessons. That was a big criticism from the powers that were constantly attacking me when I was a public school teacher. You got to scaffold this lesson. You have to tell people what. Well, the fact of the matter is, if somebody really is interested and somebody really wants to know and somebody wants to learn more than a skill, they will do it. They will do that. They will find out. I'm working with the lighting. This is the view that I want, but I still have to adjust the lighting a bit. Okay. I had 3 days. I had an extra day to think about things. I'm not attacking you for wasting your life, your precious life's blood. I mean, I woke up this morning. Today's Saturday. I didn't touch my cell phone really all day. And I thought, I'm not missing a thing. I'm not missing a thing. Nothing. It is nothing. It is the same old story. This is happening. The crypto's coming. All these things that if you're still getting excited over all this stuff, you need to do some work on yourself personally. This is just and I'm in that category. I have to do work on myself, because sometimes I do find myself um, uh, drifting into X as if it was some kind of reality. And it is some kind of reality, but it has nothing to do with the real world. Now, how do I know this? And this is what I want to emphasize on this particular video. What is the matrix and what is it not? From somebody, myself and my little community, 3 people, who don't live inside the matrix. We live in another world. So I know when I'm thinking matrix thoughts, it's very clear to me. I know what it is. I say, oh my gosh, I'm back in the matrix here. They got me scared about my finances again. I mean, that is pure matrix. That is matrix at its most fundamental level. If you're scared about your finances, you are deep inside. You are being you are being hypnotized. You are being misled by a bunch of Satan worship, child trafficking, child sacrificing bad boys. I mean, so I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent. And I don't want to get into a rant about how stupid it is, how idiotic for anybody who's been following this channel for 5 years to still be looking at, well, what's really going on today? What did Trump really do? I mean, are you kidding me? Are you, at this point, you should be creating, you should be bonding with others who are creating, you should be awakened. You should be working on the ascension process. And by that, I do not mean sitting on a blanket meditating all day. That is not part of what I would call the ascension. I mean, it is for certain people, certain masters, it's important that they do that. Just like it's important in my community. There's certain people that sit and learn Torah day and night. And for them, the space that they hold in the world is very important, and it's very beautiful, and it's holy. But for most of us should be working to create a new world for yourself. Stop thinking about tomorrow. Stop thinking about you, because it's a distraction from today. Don't stop. They're right. The song is "Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow." Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. This is coming from the music business, because you will never be a fully actuated human being, because you're always thinking about tomorrow. You're always thinking about, well, what's really going to happen with my crypto stash? What really is where is Obama right now? Are you kidding me? At this point, what is happening to Obama? I mean, I think he was executed years ago, and if he's not been executed, he's wearing some kind of boot. He's in maybe they allow him to come out for broadcasts or for TG, what is it? The special. It's just okay. So with that, let's put that behind us. But my channel only seems to grow when I put out information about when the EBS is coming out, when is XRP going to the moon, the quantum financial system is activated, which I believe it is. But all these ideas, and I get hits. I could be a successful podcaster someday. Maybe someday I could actually get paid for what I do. But I don't give a flying fuck about getting paid for what I do. I get paid in my own way. And if you're watching Harry the Soul Coach, who's a pedophile, who's going to tell you the truth, this should be a wake-up call to you. Stop. Just stop it. Stop wasting your incredibly precious time on this planet. You are a human being. You are on the highest level of spiritual potential, and you're fucking pissing away your life looking at stupidity like Harry the Soul Coach, who's going to tell you the real deal. Harry really knows because he's part of the Black Hats. He's part of the cabal. Anyway, it's just frustrating for me because I measure everything I do, and I am relentless. And it like James and Danielle are like, couldn't you just compromise a little bit? I can't. It's not because I'm such a great person. I just don't know how. I don't know how. I believe this is an important, a critically important juncture in the history of mankind. And I know that I come from some other place to do this job. And I don't know what I did over there. I have some ideas what I did on the other side. But that's not important. What's important is what's important to my soul. How do I connect? And how do I connect is like, I'm not going to sit here and, so if you're here to find out what's really going on with Obama, go listen to Joe Rogan or who's that other guy, the fat guy, Alex Jones. Go listen to Alex Jones. Apparently he's a Black Hat too. They'll tell you exactly what's going on. Mark Z. You could talk to Mark Z about the imminent, the reval is coming on Tuesday at 3:00. He's been telling you for 5 years, almost every day, that they have very good info that the RV is coming and the dinar is going up to $3.50 next Tuesday. He's been saying that for 5 years. If you're still listening to people like this, these people are there to teach you what not to listen to. Okay, what not to listen to. I'm the real thank you, Stager. You've been really helping me lately. I don't get it. Listen, I don't get a lot of. I don't care. I don't care. If you had a choice between making $1 billion and saving humanity from torture and abyss, it's a no-brainer. $1 billion would be, I mean, what would I do with $1 billion if I didn't have this bent? What would I do? I'm going to sit by a pool somewhere. I already have, let's be honest, man. I already have the hottest chick that I've ever had in my life. That and that's really like, that's kind of like, I like that. That's something, to me, that's important. But would I love to have money up here? Absolutely. We can't, we go through periods where we struggle. But I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about how wonderful it is to struggle. If you accept it, if you accept that this is just the way it is. Like last week, I didn't get paid a lot from LifeWave. Okay. We didn't get paid much. And so we couldn't really buy the things. And we're about to face a little travel episode that's going to cost us beaucoup bucks. And we're like, we'll get through it. We will get through it. Why? Because I've been doing this for at least 5 years. I've been living in the promised land outside of the matrix. Silver, gold, land, XRP, XLM, that's my bread and butter. We're trying different things up here to make money. We're actually growing a type of worm that people pay a lot of money for. We're trying to grow sweet potatoes. We're thinking we have chickens that we're breeding. These are investments as well that I'm very excited about. Because why? Because they're in my hand. They're part of my world. This is the real world. Now, I just want to tell you, I love you. I love you guys. But if you're not living off grid like we are, with no money, on a huge piece of land with no neighbors, and the neighbors that are here basically move away eventually, you can't imagine what it is to live in the real world. This is the real world. What do we do with our time? Well, today Danielle and I spent an hour trying to put a little bit of a barrier between the skunk that likes to break into our house at night and us. I put a little wire underneath the foundation. Remember, because we haven't finished really even our foundation. This is a slow walk, man, because we don't have money to hire people. We do it. Everything is done ourselves. Here's the big point that I want to make tonight. This is the big point. One of the big points. I have several big points to make tonight. And that is what we have learned, or what I have been learning, is how to survive outside of the matrix. Right? Okay. So there's a thought in deep Jewish mysticism. There's a particular line of thinking that says, I don't know what God is, but I know what God is not. Right? So we know when we are outside the matrix, and we know when we're inside the matrix. So because we live in this world where I don't have a regular job, I get a pension. It pays for, we spend it on food, we spend it on materials. We are slowly building a very nice situation for ourselves. And by the way, I just want to say this as an aside. If there is a beautiful young woman out there, maybe about between 50 and 60-ish, we need a cook. And I want my friend to have, my friend James, who is like the purest, most ascended person I've ever met. So if you're an ascended woman, meaning if you have grappled with your own drama and you're beyond the drama phase and you want to create something and you want to help us in the manifest a nice diet up here. We eat very nice foods. I'm looking for. I would like James to have a friend, just even to talk to, a woman friend that he could share with. Because he's a genius. He's like he slips through the cracks. Nobody knows him. He's good looking. He's handsome. He's young compared to me, and he's a catch, man. So if you feel like you want to live outside of the matrix, you want to live with us and work with us and invent with us and create with us, and you happen to be an incredibly beautiful woman inside and out, and you also like to cook and you like to make sourdough bread, and so I've been talking about food lately, and I want to change. In one of my posts I said that Danielle and I have arguments over what food we can buy in the organic food grocery stores. I want to change that to debate. We have debates. Now, I told people last time that I got suckered into buying non-organic ginger and turmeric. And when Daniela found out, we both agreed to throw it away. I mean, if it's organic, you still don't know it's any good. But if it's not organic, forget about it, man. I don't want to put shit in my body. Now, what happened was I went and bought. And this is about the matrix. This will help you understand the matrix. But I'm going to make some other points about what is the matrix and what is not the matrix. So I also bought a nice size package of organic coconut, dried coconut. What could be better, man, right? Dried, I love coconut. When I was a boy, on my birthday, my mom would make me, what do you call that cake? Like a coconut icing, a white icing on a white cake with coconut icing. I forget it had a name probably, but I love coconut like that. So Danielle looked at it, she says, Ellie, it's reduced fat coconut. I'm like thinking like, well, what the hell does that mean? Reduced fat organic coconut? So I just Daniela just said, I don't know what that looks like, it doesn't sound
Maybe it's chemically processed to
like
get.
it's chemically processed coconut. Do I want to put that in my body? Knowing about the chemtrails, knowing about what they do to our food, knowing about what fluoridation means, knowing that the criminally insane cartel run by deep Satanist um, people who sacrifice and eat children. Do I want to eat anything that is called this is called a lie? It's not. What does organic mean even? I mean, I've seen rappers where they say organic, we only use FDA approved pesticides. Well, that's not organic. That's poison. Who the hell knows what's FDA approved? Are you kidding me? Let me see if I can take this. I'm having some issues with. I'm going to tell about an adventure that I had today involving a little accident that I had. But the point is like this: you cannot trust these cabal people. You cannot trust them. So what? How did they get me on this one? I read all the fine print. It said coconut. I didn't read the big print, which said reduced fat coconut. That was in the big print. They lie so outrageously that you can't. That's how they get away with this bullshit. Nobody in their right mind would think an organic coconut. It's just like we bought some. We go to one of our favorite places. We like to buy Concord grapes because they have seeds in them. You selling me an organic vegetable that doesn't have seeds in it?
Well, it's half fruit.
Right. So we found out today, we got to the bottom of this grapes, of these delicious, sweet, we thought were Concord grapes.
They're half fruit.
And they're hybrid. They're hybridized.
No, they're half seed.
Well, that's
half
called
seeds.
hybrid. That's called hybrid. They're half Thompson and they're half seedless Thompson and they're half Concord. I don't want to put that in my body. I'm a natural, we come from the earth. I don't want to be separated by the earth by this pseudoscience that they put out. Not interested.
And it's from natural grocers.
It's from natural grocers, but they had a lot of good sales. They have a lot of good sales right now. So we got some things that we hope are good. We might find on the large print that it's made by trolls out of pressed vegetable oil. Who the hell knows? Oh, that was good. You put honey in that?
Yeah.
Whew, that was good. Had chocolate and honey and Skywalker. These are pleasures, man. We experience pleasures here that nobody else really, like eating a mango. The three of us eating a mango together. We divided into 3 sections. Does life get any better than eating a mango? A really delicious mango or a nectarine? This is what James has really taught me. We eat a lot of fruit up here. And hopefully, eventually, we'll be growing our own because we have lots of fruit trees. We have nut trees. We are launching into an episode. James is working very hard on creating a raised planter for sweet potatoes because the garbage that the cabal gives us, even the organic feed for chickens, the chickens are just like, what do you want me to do with this?
Yeah, I already knew that Purina was toxic.
Well, Purina, yeah, we met a guy in the thing, and he told us you got to try Purina. Well, it's bullshit. You wouldn't feed it to your chickens, and we love our chickens. Our chickens make eggs. Our chickens make us happy. We have little kitties that, I'm constantly catching Daniela and James cuddling with these little tiny kitties that were that were feral kitties. They were wild kitties. You couldn't even get near them a few weeks ago. And now they're all over us. They love us. This is the rewards of living off the matrix. Yes, you can do it in the matrix. But here's the main point that I want to make. And I see like I have like hardly any people on this. People want to know what's going on. And it's all a fucking lie. Why do you want to waste your precious time? Your time on this planet is, I mean, I'm sure there are beings in the galaxy. I mean, that would give anything to spend 10 minutes in your body. And you're wasting it trying to figure out what's really going on with Obama? Come on, man. It's time to ascend. It's time to go to another level. Now, here's the thing that I realized. Yesterday, the Three Musketeers went down to a kind of a junkyard that's near our property, and we obtained 2 old cement mixers. Now, who buys and fixes up old cement mixers, old wheelbarrows, old hand trucks? Well, we do, because we don't live in a throwaway world. We are too far from the highway. We just bought a refrigerator, a full refrigerator that just is a refrigerator, and you could set it to freeze. So we have flexibility with it. It's a beautiful machine, made in China. We just found out that the stove that we traveled up to Utah from was made in China, but we're still excited about it. But the thing is like this, and I want to say this as simply as possible because this is an essential point. When you live in the matrix, there are like 3 possibilities. You could return it, you could buy another one, and I mean that's really it. You could return it or buy another one, or you could call an expert. This is all the cabal. This is what human potential. This is what you, who are a genius, who are intimately connected with divine source by your very DNA, by your very nature. You're going to rely on the cabal to fix your problems. You're going to let the cabal tell you you need a plumber. You need to go to this store or that store. They are going to tell you the solution to your problems, and they're only a handful. And they probably involve at some point getting on the phone and being on hold. Another waste of your precious life's time. Your time is worth a fortune. And I'm sure there are beings across the flat earth who would pay a handsome price for 5 minutes inside your body. And you're wasting it trying to figure out what really happened to Obama. Yeah. Yeah, what a character, right? Exactly right. Okay, so here's the thing. You are a human being. You are divinely connected to source, and you are allowing the matrix to if you have a problem, they give you a handful of solutions to your problem. Okay? Call a plumber, ask your neighbor, return it, get another one, and they design machines to break down, so you have no choice. They want to make money off you. They feed you food that is poisonous, not bad for you, poisonous, designed to kill and maim you. I mean, we saw all these educated people. Yeah, okay, that's fine, Patty. Yeah, okay, I know you're happy doing what you're doing. And I don't expect anyone to go off grid, but I do expect you to realize when you are wasting your stupid time. And that is if you're spending a lot of time trying to figure out what's really happening to X. And if you are in the matrix, the point I'm trying to make, Patty, is this: that up here we have an array of solutions to every problem. We don't have the luxury, we don't have the money to hire somebody to take care of the problem so that we can spend the rest of our lives counting widgets for the man in the matrix. Right? You got your job and you get a nice paycheck. What are you doing with your time? Okay, I mean, I don't know what your job is, Peppermint Patty. I mean, you might have a job that you're helping people and you're giving your time and you're completely outside the matrix. But I would bet that a lot of people waste their entire lives doing bullshit like I did. I wanted to be a school teacher. I wanted to be a public school teacher so I could help people. Did they ever let me help people? Did they ever say, Mr. Weber, you're so wise, man. Just go relate to the kids and explain to them how to live a good life, just like I'm trying to do for you guys. Now you may say, "Oh, Ellie, you live off grid, and you're just." I don't care if people live off grid, but if you're going to live in the matrix, you should know it. You should know if you're doing a job. A recruiter becoming your talk. Grandchildren property, yes. You don't live in the matrix and you don't live abroad. Okay, so great, Patty. I salute you. You are 100% there. You're my age. You're doing what you love, and that's beautiful. I salute you. That's wonderful. You're fulfilled. But 99% of humanity is completely lost inside the matrix. You may be the one person, the one or two, there may be 100 people on this channel tonight that are completely fulfilled, that are they're outside the matrix, even though they exist within the matrix. I'm not talking about off grid. I'm talking about your mind. Where are your thoughts? Now, your thoughts are in beautiful things. You had beautiful careers and you have beautiful grandchildren and you have great, that's wonderful. But most people don't even consider the fact that when they have an issue, there's the solutions to every issue, be it your refrigerator breaks down, be it your plumbing is backed up, being whatever, your car things, you are subject to the matrix. You are given a limited number of options. You don't have infinite creative potential. Like we saw a movie last night called Captain Ron. It was a beautiful movie. And at the end of the movie, the movie was about people realizing that they have the power, that they're not limited. So, I salute you, Patty. That's wonderful. You have a good life. We also have a good life. I'm not trying to brag about. I'm just trying to say, if you are in the matrix, and probably a lot of you are not, but if you were in the matrix, and if you're doing a job you hate, and if you're in a relationship you hate, and if you're in a place you hate, and if you're able, just able to scrape through for the week because you know how to survive this thing, and if you're, drinking, if all these things, listen, you don't need to subscribe to my channel to get beat up by me. You don't need, but I'm just telling you that there's a freedom that on another level. There is freedom on another level where you are creating your own reality. Okay, you have property, you have grandchildren, you had a nice career, Peppermint Patty. Everything is good for you, but most people Honey, you found your life and you're happy. Yeah. Okay. The quality of the fruit and vegetables in the supermarkets dropped significantly. Right. Since 2020. My career has chewed me up and spit me out. Thank goodness for my family. Well, thank you, Rosano. So not everyone is on Peppermint Patty's level. And I'm no disrespect, Peppermint Patty. It's wonderful that you've gotten there. That many of us come from the 60s and we know how to do this. I agree. I agree. I think a lot of you know how to do this. Okay. You come from the 60s and you're at the tail end of the baby boomers, so you know how to do this. But there are a lot of people that don't, and I'm here. This is called Ascension, the Ascension program. This is for newbies. This is for people who don't. I mean, it's great. You should have your. I hope you have your own channel, Peppermint Patty. You should be spreading the good word. I hope you're doing wonderful things to share the republic, to the idea of the republic. I hope you're working for the republic, and or not, or I'm sure you have other ways to fulfill your life. That's beautiful. I salute you. But there are a lot of people like Rosano who realize that the food in the grocery stores is for shit, even organic food. And what are you going to do about it? Well, there are only a handful of solutions. And we're subject to the same rules as you. We go to Sprouts, we go to Whole Foods or whatever it is, and we get the same nonsense. We get seedless watermelon. We get, things. I asked the people at Sprouts, I said, are you spraying your fresh organic vegetables with chemicals? They said, no, they spray it with water. But
It could be tap water.
it could be tap water. But they are owned by BlackRock. Right. So I don't think don't hate me because I'm doing what you're doing. I don't hate you for doing what I'm doing, but I'm not gonna knuckle under and say, oh well, everyone's fine. Peppermint Patty, how many channels do you know that talk like this? How many, are there Harry the Soul Coach? Is he gonna tell you this kind of stuff? I don't know. I mean, I'm delighted that you feel good about your life. That's wonderful. But there are a lot of people who are discovering that we live in a matrix that is designed to kill and hurt you. The medicines, the groceries, all these things. And I'm not even saying this is a bad thing. What I'm saying is that because of this, we have become incredibly creative and masters, in my opinion, of our own destiny. I'm not saying that we're going to hell in a handbasket. I'm saying that by being exposed to these murderous fiend parasites, being exposed to a financial system that is designed to keep you in debt, being enslaved to a system that wants you to not be here anymore, according to the Georgia Guidestones and their actions. The beasts that run this world are trying to kill you. But I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because we've had to rise up. Now, I'm trying to develop a place where I can grow my own fruits and vegetables because I recognize, like Rosanna, that the fruits suck. And I love, I think we're still getting decent mangoes. The nectarines from the regular supermarkets I haven't touched in years, but I'm finding some of the organic nectarines and plums are quite delicious. So I don't hate you. I respect you. I love you for saying this. That's great. But I'm not here for people who have evolved and have mastered the matrix. I'm here for people that are spending their time eating shit. And that's most of humanity right now. The Guidestones are gone. Yes, I know that. And it's a good thing. The Guidestones are gone, but they left an indelible blueprint because we know what the evil ones are up to. Okay, with all this said, just know, Daniela has to make an appointment with a certain medical practitioner. We go there about 3 times a month. Every time she calls up to make an appointment, it takes her an hour. An hour. And that is by design. That is so Daniela will spend an hour in the matrix, feeling scared that things are not going to work out. They want to know her address. They want to know her birth certificate. They want to know everything each time she calls. It is not a slam dunk like, well, like I told you last week all my stuff. Can I just make an appointment? It should take 5 seconds to make an appointment, and it takes an hour. This is what we've learned to accept. So I'm here to remind people that if you're putting up with that kind of nonsense, you might want to think of alternatives. Or you might want to get just faster on your feet. I'm not saying it's a terrible thing that you live in the matrix and you're trying to get to a certain point so you can live a real life for a few years in retirement. That's wonderful. However, I hope you're aware that while your money is in your 401k, they are deflating it or inflating it with the fiat. They are taxing you invisibly. So if you are on stream, if you are on point with my idea of how to live, you've already converted your 401k into gold and silver, which will not devalue. You've already done that. You're not letting my 401k is really high. Well, it's high because there's inflation, and money is worth less and less every day. Tomatoes are fairly easy to grow. Yes, they are. We grow a lot of different things up here, and we're finding out which ones are easy and which ones are not. We are plagued by a certain black beetle up here that is very difficult on tomatoes, but we've already harvested most of our tomatoes anyway. Squash does very well. We've heard stone fruits do well. A baby boomer 62, I was taught to sanctify everything that enters my body. I still need to be conscious of what I put into it. I think so. And we are benefiting, Danielle and I are benefiting from the fact that James grew up in the Yucatan in a largely Amish Mennonite community. So he knows how to do shit. And most people don't. So we have choices here that other people don't have. We have choices on how we spend our time. We have choices on what we eat for dinner, what we eat during the day. If we all fast during the day until about 12 o'clock, and then we eat mostly fruit, a little yogurt, and then we have a meat meal later on. Right after the broadcast, we'll have a nice thing on our new stove, hopefully on our new stove. But I don't mean to be angry with anyone. I'm saying all this challenge that we've been through in the last couple of years has really made us who we are. So you won't be one of those people in the health food store that are just buying the stuff because it says healthy whatever. It's not. Organic coconut. I found out they removed all the fat from it. What's the point of eating something without fat in it? What?
Tea.
Time? Oh, yeah. I'm drinking X2O water. Amazing water. I found yesterday I started blissing out on the X2O water. It's an amazing way to hydrate. And I don't drink a lot of water during the day because I'm getting water that's filled with sunshine, that's filled with 6 wavelengths of light. If you feel so inclined, you could call Dr. Stacy and get an X2O machine, and you could drink this water that's infused with 6 frequencies of light. It goes directly into your body, into your cells, and it can be elevating. It can make you feel really good to have real water. Okay, yeah, I want to make another point about this particular thing about the life wave thing that I fell today about how I fell about 20 feet, 30 feet. I fell 20 to 30 feet down a steep incline. I fell backwards. I fell head first. And because I know how to fall, I don't know how I know how to fall, but I know how to fall. I know that you don't fight it. So I just cruised down there head first, sliding down the mountainside, and thanked God when I was able to walk when I got to the bottom. But as a result of doing that, my finger froze. I couldn't move my finger very well. Could move it a little bit, but it was very painful to move this finger. So I put an X39 right here, and instantly I was able to move again. I was able to move this finger. I have no pain in my finger right now. Now, I had the same problem with my shoulder, and my shoulder was already hurting me, but when I fell, it made it a little bit worse. And I put ice waves all around it. The ice waves reduced the pain, and I was able to keep working. But the X39, man, this this stimulates stem cell production. It activates certain peptides, copper peptides that activate stem cells. So you're not dealing with symptoms. Here with the ice wave, that reduces pain. That's not what I need. I need things to be cured. But this instantly activated stem cells, I guess, inside my hand, and now I have zero problems with my finger. So I highly recommend you try the X2O machine. I don't feel it's responsible of me to bliss out too much, but I do allow myself, I do allow I do allow heart openings. I do allow myself. Generally, it comes also by doing nice things for others. Your heart will open up and you'll feel really good. So yeah, I just wanted to share that experience. So call Dr. Stacy, and if you have problems, we have a neighbor who has a fatty liver problem, and we told them to call Dr. Stacy. She'll be able to tell you exactly what you need. The X39 is my go-to patch. Eon for inflammation, any kind of inflammation. We ran out of Eon for my shoulder, but that's how difficult it was to start a chicken coop and I have space to do it. It's incredibly easy. It's incredibly easy to start a chicken coop. Let me just tell you how to do it. I'm so happy, Rosanna. You're distracting me in a good way. I was very hesitant to start the chicken coop because no one's ever told me how to do it. So I let James built the first one. I built the turkey coop. We have two little turkeys, and I built that thing. It is lined with what they call hardware mesh. Okay, it is lined with hardware mesh, meaning the bottom of the coop, the side of the coop, and not where the wood is. If you put a piece of plywood, you don't have to put mesh. But any holes in the chicken coop, you could just build it yourself. You could just take a couple pieces of wood, put a frame together, but the floor must be covered, in my opinion, with a 1/4 inch. I think it's 1/4 inch. Is it 1/4 inch? What is the mesh?
1/4 inch.
1/4 inch. With 1/4 inch mesh to keep animals from coming in and eating your chickens. That is what we need. We have a skunk, we have a bushy-tailed weasel, and they are constantly, every night, trying to dig under the chicken coop and kill and eat the chickens. So the fact that I have a hardwire mesh at the bottom of the chicken coop and wherever there are air spaces makes it possible that, yeah, Long Island is a great place, man. You should grow your own chickens. It's also a lot of fun. But this is what I'm talking about. We have choices. The eggs in the supermarkets, even in the health food stores, suck. These are disgusting eggs. We get fresh eggs every day. Our little Aurora, who, by the way, likes to eat meat. The chickens like us need to eat meat, especially an egg-laying chicken. My Aurora, my hen laying, she will attack me to get the meat. She desperately needs meat. Live near me, yeah. So you need to just keep quarter inch. You could go to a finer grade, but if you cover the bottom, now don't keep the mesh as the place where the chickens walk. You want to cover that with a nice layer of rocks and dirt, which we do. We now have ways to screen our dirt so that we have rocks and dirt. We do a lot of dirt screening up here. But yeah, I highly recommend you put a little door. You can get a very easy, there's a kind of hinge you could buy at Home Depot that you don't have to. It's just you just mount it right on the hinge side and the door, and it just opens up. And you have to put an eye loop on the door so that the critters don't get in. Are rabbits an option? Yes, we are considering now raising rabbits because the rabbit pellets are apparently garden ready. You can stick them right in your garden. And I also have the thought, although it's just a thought, that we could possibly, if things got rough up here, we could kill the rabbits and feed them to our chickens and turkeys
No,
and kitties. Daniela says no.
not kosher.
Well, it's not kosher, but for the animals, it's
Well, then we'll be eating the rabbit as well.
okay. So Daniela says no. She doesn't want rabbits. But yeah, rabbits and if you don't keep kosher rabbits, there are people out here who eats rabbits. They're very lean, so you have to be careful you don't starve to death eating rabbits and non-fatty fish. People need fat. We eat a tremendous amount of butter. We love eating butter. We organic, grass-fed, but you look on the back of the label. If it says flavors.
95%.
What does it say?
If it says 95%, then you don't know what the other 5%.
Right. If it says 95%, and you don't know what the other 5% is, they put all kinds of bullshit in our food. So yeah, Rosanna, yeah, Ravello, yeah, you should definitely. I mean, in my opinion, I waited to have chickens because we travel, but now we have James. James generally stays behind, to watch everything. But we're building a farm, man. I know nothing about farming, really. I thought I knew so much about plants. My father was an avid gardener, and he taught me a lot of stuff about organic gardening, but not nearly what there is so much to learn, and it's so exciting and so much fun. And to eat a lot of your own food is it's the way to go in the future. I mean, you can't. Okay, so now I want to switch subjects just a little bit, and I want to go to something that I'm seeing online. I don't know if I can bring this up, and I don't really want to because I'm probably going long. I think. Am I going long? Have I been on a long time?
What?
Am I going to? Is the broadcast too long?
I don't know what time you started.
I started around 6, a little after 6, so I'm not that long. There's another major point I want. The first point is that the Matrix gives you very limited solutions. There are very limited solutions. If something breaks down, if you need something, we don't have a lot of choice. Up here, we have a little more choice. So we know, we fix things that other people wouldn't fix. we come up with solutions based on how much material we have. We can't always afford everything, fresh. But yeah, chickens, man, for sure. For chickens, for sure. And you will bond. We are specializing in a certain type of chicken. I mean, you can get into all kinds of things. We are planning to breed AM. Called AM Somani. I'm not sure of my pronunciation, but it's an Indonesian breed that James is fond of. So they're all black. They're all black chickens, but they're all kinds of really cool breeds. It's better if you can get your chickens from a farmer, because the ones you would buy in a chicken store, I don't know if there are any in New York, but like around here, we have Tractor Supply, we have Cow Ranch. Those chickens are shot up with who knows what. So we like to buy them directly from the farmer. They're usually second generation, and they haven't been shot up, at least. Okay, the other point that is coming out strongly in the thought streams is that I'm baffled by how few people are on my channel. It's like if I was Howard Stern talking about my in-laws' penises, that I would be world famous. I mean, but okay, it's all right. I kneel. I yield to Joe Rogan. But the first point is, know when you're in the matrix. Indonesian currency is a good one to hold. Yeah, I didn't know that. I'll check that out. But yeah, because James has some people from Indonesia. Okay, so the other point that is very, very, very important, and I'm just seeing a lot of it right now, is that we are going through the Great Awakening. That process involves the destruction of the evil deep state. As this is what I'm hearing, as this process unfolds, the deep state will unleash all kinds of trickery and tricks to try to scam you as things are going down. So if you find, for example, that your internet doesn't work, a certain website doesn't work, and you get an alert on your thing, you've been hacked, and somebody tries to sell you something, these are scammers. As the deep state is going down, and they are going down. So I'm not telling everyone, you have to live off grid. All due respect to Peppermint Patty. I'm telling people you need to be aware of where you're holding, and you also need to be grateful for all the training, the free training we've got on how to live outside the matrix in the last 5 years, because we've had to. We had to invest in ISO 222 coins. We had silver and gold. We moved. We changed our relationships. We got LifeWave. We got products that were not certified by the creepazoids to heal us. We thought outside the box and invested in X2O machines. By the way, if you think about it, fruit also has water that's infused with light, right? That's the same as the X2O thing. It's water infused with light. It's like structured water. So here's the thing. As the deep state is going down, and I'm looking at the skyline, and as the quantum financial system will come into being. ISO 222 coins will be incredibly valuable. Your silver and gold will be incredibly valuable, but don't give any of it up to scammers on the way. Do not give your information to anyone. If you get a call from me and I personally invite you to join my new crypto fund, hang up immediately. And I will never call you. Nobody's ever going to call you. Coinbase will never call you to tell you that your stash is compromised. These are scammers. There's going to be a slow destruction of this house of cards that has been destabilizing our joy for all these years, putting us into debt slavery, teaching us bullshit in schools, giving us limited solutions to problems. You either go to this grocery store or that grocery store. But I think owning chickens is, I'm so happy. I love it. I love every morning going out and just seeing how everyone's doing. How we have a rooster now that crows at dawn. But the thing that I want to emphasize to everyone should be aware: the deep state is going down. The internet is going to collapse. It cannot be salvaged. It will be completely eradicated. And the from the satellite, probably X and the QFS will be run from satellites. The old internet is going to be slowly quirking. It's going to be destroyed in this kind of controlled demolition. So do not fall for any scammers. Anybody's going to tell you the truth and what you need to do to fix your computer. Don't go for it. Just be patient. This is going to be a difficult time, a difficult transformation. All those people, all those assholes who are podcasters, who are telling you, like I don't want to go into it because YouTube could take me down. But if you're listening to a podcaster who's been telling you for the last 5 years that the RV is coming this week, you might want to check your brains to see if you still have any brain cells left, that you're doing this to yourself. You do not need to torture yourself with phony bullshit. However, the QFS is coming, in my opinion. It is coming. A lot of people are saying it's already there. Is Wolverine for real? I don't think so. I don't think Wolverine or all these people, they're always telling you the truth and what's going on. Or who's that? The sort of fat English guy, the Charlie Ward? Is Charlie Ward? Charlie Ward, all these people. He's a nice guy. He's a charming guy, but it's not. First of all, it's not Charlie Ward. And Simon Parks and all these other people. They're going to tell you what's really going on, man. And if you're listening, they're doing their job. They're getting their hits. They're making a living. You're not. They're sucking the brain cells out of your body. I don't know. I wish there were more channels like mine. I think there are a lot of sources online, but if you're waiting for the EBS and if somebody's going to tell you when it's really going to happen, just block them out. Block them. Don't listen to people like that. They've been telling us for 5, 6, 7 years that EBS is coming, D5 is coming, all the arrests. I think the arrests are happening as we speak. I think everything's going down, but there's not going to be an announcement. And no one's going to know when it's coming. So as the deep state is being destroyed and demolished, look at this. As the deep state is being destroyed and demolished, a lot of things are going to go down. They're going to try to suck you into the fear space. Do not be driven. Just ignore it. Now, there are some nice sources that I like. I like Big Daddy. I like Daniela knows a lot, even though she talks about the EBS. The EBS could be coming, but people need to know that the cabal is being destroyed. The cabal, now they're going into Mexico. They're going to take out the cabal, but this is not a fast fix. Thank you. This is not a fast fix. Yeah, I know Big Daddy's wonderful. I like him. I'd like tell him I'd love to have him on. I'd love to spend an hour with him online. I mean, Big Daddy's the real deal. He doesn't make a dime. He doesn't make a dime off this stuff. Like Harry the Soul Coach. I when I first saw him, I said, "Wow, this guy's interesting." And then, like about 5 episodes later, it's like, I don't like this guy. I don't trust him. A lot of CIA operatives. Yeah, I agree with you. There are a lot of fake podcasters out there. No one's, no one's tried to bribe me into, changing teams. I just, I'm kind of amazed by that. No one's ever reached out to me in any way, and I'm delighted. I don't. Maybe they understand that I'm not for sale. It's Saturday night, and some people are right. That could be. He's very earnest. I'll let Alex know. Yeah, let Alex know. I'd love to do a show with him. We might be able to actually. I might be able to actually make a living. I mean, who knows? Stranger things have happened. This stuff is amazing, man. X39 resets your stem cells. I could not move my finger after my fall, and the X39. But anyway, the deep state is going down. This is what the information that I'm getting from several sources that I trust is that the deep state is going down. It's going to get hairy out there. It's going to be weird. It's not going down tomorrow. It's not like the EBS is coming next week and your DNRs are going to be. I don't see that. I don't see that. But I think. Listen, we've been following Q for years. When I started following Q, I was like, okay, they're going to arrest these bad boys, and I'm going to get on with life. I'll get paid for getting fired from the sleazoids that run the educational, the Department of Education, Department of education in New York City. We can uneducate any child that comes to us. I mean, bring us your children, and if we're lucky, we'll snatch them and move them underground into one of our secret bunkers where we can eat them and maybe drain the adrenochrome out of them, that kind of thing. I don't want to get into that, but don't freak out when the internet goes down. Don't freak out at all. And don't freak out when scammers reach out to you and say, yeah, everything it's all going down, and there's only one solution to it. If they tell you there's only one solution to it, that's Matrix, because the Matrix only wants you to have one solution to every problem, right? You can buy the insurance policy. I opted out of the insurance policy for the refrigerator that I just bought because, frankly, I can't afford the $170. And I figure it'll go when, they're not designed to last forever, but they're designed to last until the warranty is over. And I don't have the money to gamble like that. Filtered or raptured out of fired or raptured out of the Matrix. Yeah. You have to remember it's Saturday night. Thank you, Peppermint Patty. I know Alex. I'll let Alex know. You know Alex? Yeah, let him know. I mean, I'd love to Barack. He's totally earnest. I totally trust him. I mean, some of the information I don't agree with, but the man he's telling you what he totally. No one's paying him. No one's paying him. You can hear the chickens crowing in the back of his things.
That's the card that was in the grapes.
Got a question about the grapes. Yeah, looking for more fruit world fun. I mean, yeah, the fun world of eating fruit.
The part up here where it says seedless.
Right, it says seedless, but we thought, we even tried one. It was seemed like there was a little seed. There are little seeds in them, which you can eat, but we don't want seedless, because if it's seedless, it means it's a hybrid. I don't want that kind of bull.
And it's bad for fertility.
And it's bad for fertility. And that's another thing that the deep state really wants. They don't want you having babies. Okay? I mean, that they don't want you to be fruitful and multiply. But CIC DJT Q plus E7. Yeah, I don't know. You got, I don't do this gematria stuff. I don't look for, what does this Q post really mean? I'm, I like the main things like focus, ascend, that the end is not for everyone. These kinds of thoughts are riveting, really, and require deep analysis. They're not, for me at least, these are not obvious questions. This is X39 as well. I have two on today, but this one saved my life. I mean, the right side of my body is not functioning up to snuff because I fell on my right side. I fell on my back. I woke up, I got up, and my back was bleeding. I mean, this was I live on a cliff on this side of the house. It's a straight cliff, and I did something stupid. The Iraqi Minister of Communications, a government decision been issued by change the Iraqi currency and remove the zeros. You know what? That's the kind of bullshit we've been hearing for years. It may be, but so what? Why are you wasting your time finding this shit out? When it happens, it happens. When the dinar goes up to 350, I'll be down at Chase and cashing it in. But until then, don't waste your time, in my opinion. Yeah, I like that. Fired or raptured out. Yeah, maybe I was raptured out. Raptured out. I appreciate it, Robbie. But don't waste your time, guys. You are holy beings. You don't need to be. You don't need to be sleuthing over the reality that is all manufactured. It's not for us. It's like eating manufactured products. I mean, I saw all these really beautiful people going into the health food store, grabbing this and that. They don't even look at the labels. They're eating poison. Yes, it's Sprouts, but it's owned by BlackRock. You got to be careful, guys. And even if you're careful, you're still going to get. I mean, we occasionally buy a watermelon, and it says seeded watermelon, and there are like 2 seeds in it. Everything has to, but do not let yourselves get carried away. And call Dr. Stacy if you really want to live. If you have health issues, or even if you just want to live longer. It's a beautiful world. And the conclusion to everything, you seriously was going back to 350. That's exciting. You're not impressing me, man. I mean, I don't want this on my channel. Yeah, I don't need that. Go away. Go to Alex Jones or something. Okay. Yeah, and let's get you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need the information. That's just it's total bullshit. The EBS is coming next week. I heard it on 5 different podcasters told me. Well, Harry's soul coach was probably one of them, right? When he's not, chasing children, he's broadcasting with a big smile on his face, telling you the dinar is going to be reevaluated next week. It's going down when it goes down. The Clarity Act? How many times have they told you that the Clarity Act is happening this week? That's been going on since last November. Since November. Every week, the Clarity Act is about to get passed. The Clarity Act this week was supposed to be passed. The Clarity Act is now put off to September 15th. If you want to waste your holy time, you are holy beings. You are way up on the scale of divinity. If you want to waste your time thinking about nonsense, that's what the Matrix wants you to do. Because if you're thinking about bullshit, you're not thinking about what you really love to do. What you really, like I had to reinvent myself. I was like, man, I can't, like, I'm frustrated physically. I don't, girls don't like me. I was working in a place with beautiful. I said, I need to reinvent myself. And I did. I went to Joe Dispenza. I started watching hypnotist steps. And Joe Dispenza says, if you think the same thoughts, you're going to do the same bullshit. If you have to change your thinking. And I did. I slowly, I hypnotized myself. I changed my thinking, and eventually, I realized that I don't belong in Crown Heights. I love the Hasidic lifestyle. I love learning Torah. I love learning Hasidus. I love my chevra, my people, but it's not for me. They don't see what I see. They're not on the same level. The Qjars for about a year. It seems to be difficult to follow for. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You're new to this. I mean, we've been doing this for ages. We've been doing it for 9 or 10 years, really, and it ain't coming tomorrow. This is a process. This is an awakening of mankind that has to happen in a slow, natural way. So you're lucky you didn't have to go through what we went through, and but just learn from our mistakes if you can, and don't once you get it, once you understand what Q is saying, redesign your life, have some chickens, man, put some fruit trees on your land, stop using pesticides and evil fertilizers. Gersten Beach for 2 years. Garriston Beach, I'm not sure where that is, but that's cool. I don't know where it is. But yeah, I mean, we've all been called. We are all probably hybrid star seeds from who knows where. But we have a mission, and we don't care about money. We do care about money because we don't have any, but we get by anyway. We're not a matrix person. Well, I have to have a job so I can make money. I'm just like, no, I have a pension, I have Social Security, and I make a little money sometimes on from LifeWave, and if we have to wait another week to get plywood, we will. I'd rather do that than spend my time selling widgets for the man. It's in Brooklyn. Nice, man. I love Brooklyn. I've spent 25 years there in Crown Heights, and everything is written, everything is known. When I was a little boy, maybe 5-ish, 6-ish, maybe 9, but I think probably around 9, because 9 I had real awakenings. We lived in Westchester. I grew up in Scarsdale, which I didn't really feel was a place for me, but my people had been in Scarsdale for a couple of generations. All my grandparents lived there from the 1920s. So it wasn't like we just moved to this place called Scarsdale, but we were long-term Scarsdale people. But one time we went on a vacation to Brooklyn, and it was one of the best vacations that my family ever went on. We were always going to cool places. But I just fell in love, I just liked it. And then, but it's kind of like moving backwards. Like you think, oh, I went from Westchester, I should live in wherever, hoity-toity, high caliber, rich place, like a little bit like Prescott, or, but I went the other way. And I ended up in Brooklyn for 25 years, and I loved it. And I learned to be poor. Like, not that we were rich, but we in retrospect, we lived a little bit of an easier life. Although my father didn't really think of it that way. He was constantly under stress. Poor man. I mean, trying to feed us and live in this fancy place. It wasn't really that fancy back in the day. I mean, I lived next to a menagerie. I lived at the end of a dead end road where there was a world of a portal into another world right at the end of my road. So I grew up with these kinds of inconsistencies in, nothing is straight up normal. It's all what you make of it. People say, well, wasn't it, I tell people here that I'm from New York. They're like, well, you're living off grid and you're from New York. You say, isn't that weird? I'm like, no, it's the same damn thing. It's just me in a different place. It doesn't feel that weird. But yeah, Brooklyn, man. Garrison Beach, nice, man. Raptured out of the Matrix. I like that. It's Saturday night. Yeah, people are out. Yeah, summertime people are out. Yeah, I think that's why we're not getting like huge amounts of people get investing in LifeWave at the moment. But be careful out there on the internet. If something goes down, just let it be. Just walk away, and be careful who you'll follow. And yeah, I like Alex, man. I mean, he's a real deal dude. I mean, he's heartfelt, man. He really he. But you know, there are other people that I think are good. I think this Daniela knows a lot. I think War Correspondent is excellent. Who else? Who else do we really like? Who else do we really follow? Trying to phase out of the matrix. Yeah, it's a process. I mean, you can't just, like I didn't just quit my job. I got fired. So it's different. I had no choice. I mean, I pushed that to the envelope. But the first step in healing from something is to become aware of what the problem is. And if you start realizing when you're on the phone being held, like poor Daniela, every 3 times a month, spending, I'm like, what are they asking? You're asking you the same questions. It's like, this is designed to waste your time. Everything, the car people, we desperately need another car. And we went and we said, we want a car that's manual, that's, from the 90s, where it doesn't have we don't want any computers on our car. And they keep saying, well, would you like an SUV? I'm like, no, we do not want an SUV. We live 8 miles up a mountainside. We are not getting an SUV. I want, for my second vehicle, I want a little truck that isn't a Matrix mobile. Like, we went to look at a Tundra. It was like $70,000. It's got cameras on, looking up your rectum practically. I mean, it's like, here's a camera for you to make sure your drink is cold enough. I mean, it's ridiculous. I pushed the red button? Yeah, we pushed the red button. But the thing with the red button is you can't go back. And so, and it over time, you get further and further away from understanding, from being able to really communicate with people on the other side, even though you want to and you love them. I mean, my son is totally in the Matrix, and I love my son, and I know he's a smart dude, and I know he grew up with a hardcore truther, and he's always like, oh, Tati, but he's I'm saying, Mendel, do not use fluoridated anything, and he listens. But yeah, so the bottom line is like this: being a truther has taught us to survive in the Matrix, and these skills that we've cultivated will bring us, will help us. This was training that you can't get in school. We learned from the school of hard knocks. We lost our jobs. I lost my YouTube channel. I lost my family. I lost my community. I lost all my friends, and I'm better off. I feel great. I have really nice friends here. We're creating a new world. So if you happen to be a beautiful woman in her maybe 60s, 50s, 60s, who really loves to cook and is highly ascended, come on out, man. We're almost at the point where, gosh, I don't know, do we even have living space? You would probably have to bring up your own, probably if somebody could bring up one of those really small travel trailers like that we looked at. What was that one called? The little, looks like an egg.
I don't know.
But anyway, you can buy these little trailers for, I mean, because we're evolving. We almost have sleeping space. We're gonna let James sleep in the RV, and we're gonna move into the house once we're a little farther along. But yeah, we all push the red button. But just know, man, you can't go back. So go move forward. Don't sit on the fence. In my opinion, don't sit on the fence. Don't, that's what we all want to do. We want to be kind of in the matrix and kind of out of the matrix. Get your money from the matrix and use it for non-matrix. But I'm not. I'm not so. I'm not so. Well, I was forced out of it, so I had no choice. Would I still be teaching today? I'm at 70. I plan to retire at 71. So it's been 5 years since I've been working. They told me, don't come in. If you're not going to get vaccinated, don't come back. And they shut down my email channel. The union never heard, it was just, I was canceled. But I thank God, because look where I live. This is not a green screen. This is where I live, right? I mean, anytime the three of us feel like yesterday, we waltzed down the canyon, and James wanted to harvest some river grass. He likes to cultivate plants. So he had seen a little, I think I would call it like soya. I think my father used to call it, but it's like very tightly rooted grass to feed the animals, because we want to have goats and lambs. We've heard that's the best thing, and a cow. But right now we can't afford the fencing material. But the fact that we could do it, we have the space, we have the wherewithal, we have the love for the earth to want to live at peace with outside the matrix. And you can too. It's all options are on the table. There's nothing is written. You can do what you like. Zoisha. Yeah, Zoisha. Right. Yeah, Zoisha. That's what my father used to call it. It has like heavy duty roots. The roots kind of come out into the trying to phase out of the matrix. Right. It's not, it's a process. Don't do, like I said, you can't go back. So don't go too fast. Make sure, I was like, when the COVID thing hit, I was like, I'm out. I knew I was heading in that direction. I took all my 401k money out. I put it into silver and gold. Thank God, because I had a little silver and gold that I could trade for land and vehicles and things like that. A really cool solar system. We have a tremendous solar system here, and it has 9 panels. If you put 10 panels, the solar system flips out. If you have 8 panels, you're looking, this life is so good. I'm looking back, no regrets. Been down the Bull Springs, working on the road. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, that's Ed. That's Ed. Yeah, Ed. Yeah, man. I mean, I love it up here too, Ed. I love you. I love you. And Lisa. I mean, if you really have a problem up here, you can how to connect. James sounds. Yeah. Just send me an email, kabbalahguru@gmail.com. It's KABBALAH, or even better, chat with Daniela. Yeah, I'd love to see him. He's an amazing guy, man. He's ascended. He's, we have your CMO, KCMO. What does that mean? Do you know what KCMO means? Anyway, yeah. So wait, let me put on the captions. Let's see. I think it's down here. No, it's restream. Wait. I'm sorry, my eyesight isn't so good. Oh, let's see. Here, I wanted to give you you could also Instagram Daniela and talk to her and see if it's right for you. But I think a woman could come up here and help us with cooking and everything else that we do. I mean, listen, Daniela does yoga and she does a lot of exercise. You can do whatever you want here. James does a lot of creative. He spends a lot of time learning about different plants and different solutions. I mean, you can come up and be yourself. You don't have to. We don't put people into a well. You have to be up at 6 and you have to do this. You do what you want. You help us as much as you can, as you want, and if you want, if you need space. I mean, I want this space to be eventually for people who just want to learn what it is to be outside the matrix and learn some skills. I want to make this into a teaching place so that somebody can come and work out their matrix issues. I'm still working. I still, James and Danielle are like, I fly off the handle sometimes. I'm just like, I just lose it. I act like I'm still in the matrix. So, it's a process. But yeah, you could get a hold of Daniela. But we're chilling, man. We're chilling. Kansas City, yeah. Yeah, drop us a line. Too bad more people can experience this great way of life. Yeah, I know, Ed. It's I don't get it. I mean, I could not afford a house, man. It was like 300,000 for a house. I don't want to live in a house. Listen, I have skunks that break into my house at night. We have weasels that eat our chickens. I wouldn't trade this for anything. I mean, this is real life. Poor Ed has to like haul his water every day. That's how much he loves living here. He's from Connecticut. We both escaped the Northeast, and it just gets better and better up here. We were, what was it? We have a flush toilet. It's just, you would think flush toilet, what's the big deal? It's like, well, it's a big deal if you haven't had a flush toilet for 2 years and you've been pouring buckets down your toilet because you finally got a septic tank instead of just a latrine. I mean, we've been camping out for 2 years, and things just get better and better. Now we have a refrigerator in the main section. We turned off the refrigerator in the RV. This is huge. And we now have a stove. We have this wood burning stove outside the house. I think I'm going to get another one for the winter. We'll have one for the summer and one for the winter, because the weather here it's volatile. It's either, it can be really hot, but we're at 4,500 feet. It doesn't get much above 100. It's not like Phoenix. But when the sun is shining bright, you shouldn't be out working. You should be resting. It can get cold, cold, but not really cold in the winter. You can have a few nights of frost, but we love it. And we invite, I really want people to come up here and heal. But it would require, I mean, we could probably, I would like to see, I'd like to see James have a woman to talk to. He's an amazing guy, good looking. He's just really sweet and gentle, and he's not going to send out, he's not going to be on social media reaching out to people. He's like all the hidden jewels that exist in our world. There's so many people that are so beautiful. Coyote and bobcats get into my chicken coop. That's where they're found next morning. Wow. Yeah, we got coyotes and bobcats, but so far the wire has kept them out. It's an educational experience. We did not know that. I mean, James built the first chicken hutch, and then the next thing you know, our AM Samani rooster, which we paid a little bit of money for, was not there. There's just some feathers left. He was dragged out by something that dug underneath. So that's why you have to put the wire, but don't let the chickens sit on the wire. Put some dirt, put some straw over the wire so that they're not exposed to the metal. And it's fun, man. I mean, you could build little hutches, little huts inside little places. It's fun to build. Out here you can get away with a plywood roof. because we don't get much rain. But anyway, yeah. So it's all good. Just keep doing what you're doing. I see I got over 100, so that makes me feel better. Somebody's listening.
No, you have way over.
I have way over. Okay, so we are going to be here tomorrow night, God willing. Monday night we'll be here. Well, we're going to be here, right?
I'm not sure.
Not sure about Monday night, but for sure tomorrow night. So, Tuesday night we do the crypto thing with Monty and Big Bird. Wednesday night we'll
But
be.
we're not sure when we're traveling.
We're not sure. We're going to be traveling soon, so we're not sure. But it may be a little spotty this week in terms of our broadcasting. But we love you. We want to be, we want to share what we can share. And I respect Peppermint Patty. Living off grid is not for everyone. If you're used to like if the comforts of living in the matrix, if your air conditioning, if your food supply, if you're drinking beer or something like that, you're not gonna. I don't think this is a good place. If you're addicted to pot, we've had a lot of problems with pot smokers. They're not so easy to deal with. So, but if you're here and you just want to be in a chill place with people that are on board, and if you can help us with the food and stuff, I mean, Diane has been gracious enough to give me until next April to pay her back for the 80 acres that I basically sold her. So if you could help us along those lines, I'm hoping that XRP or the DNR will go by then, but we'll figure out a way. There is, we are not limited. There's not. That's what the Matrix wants you to feel like. Oh my God, this has happened. That's leads to this. It's not true. There's always an option. There's always another way to look at things. Anyway. The mountains of Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky is a great place, man. But you get a lot of rain there. I can only imagine what you could grow out there. We get great sun. We get sunshine like you can't believe. So we're cultivating things like mangoes, sweet potatoes. We're now delving into. We're going to learn. We had a good tomato crop this year, but the black beetles totally decimated every leaf that's associated with tomato was eaten, and then they died. The black beetles just left. So this is a kind of an ongoing thing. We've tried different things, but we'll figure it out. We're doing more in planters now than in just like I have an enclosed garden, but the trees, our fruit trees are in that garden. We also have a bunch of pistachio trees and mulberry trees that we haven't planted yet, but we need workers. We need people who are not afraid to get their hands dirty, not afraid to live real life. Like if you don't like something, man, you got to speak up around here. We get into it sometimes. I'm a hothead, man. I'm trying to do better, but sometimes I just explode. I'm just like I do on the channel, and it's okay here. It's not like, oh my God, we failed. We're not enlightened anymore. That's bullshit. If you have something you need to express, you express it, and then it makes the community, like, through these difficulties. That's what I'm saying. Embrace the difficulties. The difficulties are the reward. The difficulties are what make you. Put basil around your tomatoes. Yeah, we'll try that. I mean, but out here, man. I mean, you're in Kentucky. We're in the critters out here are not. They don't play. This is desert, man. This is life or death. So these black beetles, man. I mean, I doubt very much that we've done other things to get them away. The ash works, wood ash works good on them, but these are on the desert. Animals can't they can't play. It's life or death. Everything is life or death up here. So anyway, yeah. Thanks for letting me chill a little bit. I still say it's a result of drinking the X2O water. This stuff will rock your world. It will make you Like it's just I have to be careful not to just bliss out because call Dr. Stacy, order one. It costs about the same as what are those
Candy machine.
Canyon machine. It's the same as a Canyon machine, and it does also there is an alkalinity aspect to the water, but it is far more than that. It you can feel the water right away, and it hydrates, it heals, it to put light directly in your system is an amazing experience. Anyway, God willing, tomorrow's Sunday. We'll be back tomorrow night. I'm not going to be on with Vincent for a while. I'm just going to just do what we did tonight and just whatever comes up. Remember, do not freak out when the internet goes down. Do not give in to any scammers, right? And also know when you're in the matrix. And if you're in the matrix, I used to get like nuts when I was in the Matrix. I started screaming, yelling at these people. But the Matrix people, they can't respond. They're NPCs. They're just non-character players. They're like, why is this guy yelling? He's yelling about the Matrix. It's like I don't even know what that is. So yeah, it's all good. All right, let me play a little tune and then we'll call it a night. Okay, I can't play that. Why? Okay. Okay, I wanted to play Language of the Heart for Grandma Linda, but it doesn't seem to be working right now. I don't know why I should listen to Spacey Casey. She knows which things will go. All right, let's try this then.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Moved into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading
I turned myself out I turned myself off somehow. Go figure. Let's see if I can go back to this. Let's try that. Okay. So anyway, you are highly divine beings. We are associated directly. No sound or picture again? No, it's no picture, no sound. Okay, so hopefully you're hearing me now. Good. Okay, it's good. Don't waste your time. Things are going to get weird. Don't respond to scammers. Know when you're in the matrix. If you're in the matrix, just hold your nose, get through it, and move on. That's it. You are the ones. We'll come back tomorrow night and we'll talk some more. If you're new to this thought stream, we welcome you. If you're still involved in the movie, what we call the movie, which is central casting, which is what it's not even President Trump. It's an actor. Everything we're watching is an actor. Late for class again. All right. But don't get involved. Don't waste your time. You're too important. You are the one. You are Neo, and we need your consciousness to be focused on the creative expanse of our species. Use the Force. Know that you are the Force. Connect to Source. You don't need any special methods. You don't need to be a Zen Buddhist. You don't need to be, like me, a Hasidic. You don't need to learn Torah all day. You can connect directly, very easily. You just follow your thoughts. And I think I've been telling people kind of like how to do this all these years. But it's as easy as fishing. Don't you know you're a magician, right? You're a magician, man. You can manifest anything. You just have to change your thoughts. So let's get out there with a big smile on our face. Ed, have a great night and be safe, man. Don't let the critters bother you.